Good morning, children. This is Seema Prabhakaran. We'll continue with our lesson, the parliamentary government, the executive. In our previous video, we talked about the President of India, his qualifications for election, term of office, election of president, and impeachment. Today we'll begin with the next topic, position and powers of the President of India. The powers can be divided into 7 different types: executive powers, military powers, diplomatic powers, legislative powers, financial powers, judicial powers, and emergency powers. Let's understand them in detail. We'll begin with executive powers. The Constitution says that the executive power of the Union shall be vested in the President. The executive powers of the President may be discussed under the following heads. First, Head of the Union Government. All executive orders of the Government of India are issued in the name of President. Second is formation of the Council of Ministers. The Constitution lays down that the Prime Minister is to be appointed by the President and other ministers are appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. Third point under this is power to appoint and remove the high dignitaries of the state. Fourth point is administration of union territories. The Constitution provides that every union territory shall be administered by the President. Next power is the military power. The President is the supreme commander of the defense forces of India, and the President has the power to declare war and conclude peace. Third is diplomatic power. The President of India has the power of appointing ambassadors. The President receives diplomatic envoys from other countries. Second is all treaties and international agreements are concluded in the name of the President. Third, the President represents India in international conferences. Next is legislative powers. The President has the power to summon or prorogue both the houses of Parliament and to dissolve the Lok Sabha. Prorogue means discontinue. Second point under this is the President nominates 12 members to the Rajya Sabha and he can nominate 2 members of Anglo-Indian community to the Lok Sabha. Third is the President addresses both the houses of Parliament assembled together at the first session after each general election and at the commencement, that is the starting of first session each year. Besides, the President is empowered to address either house or their joint sitting at any time. Fourth is every bill requires the President's assent in order to become a law. Fifth is the most important legislative power of the President is the power to promulgate ordinances at a time when both the House of Parliament are not in session. Promulgate means declare ordinance as a law. Next point is financial powers. A money bill cannot be introduced in the Lok Sabha unless it is recommended by the President. An annual budget is placed before the Parliament in the name of the President. Third is the contingency fund is placed at the disposal of the President. Emergency fund you can call it. The President can grant an advance for the purpose of meeting an unforeseen expenditure from the contingency fund. Next is judicial powers. The President has the power to grant pardon, cancel or postpone or forgive punishment. No criminal proceedings can start against the President in any court during his term of office. And the last are emergency powers. The President is empowered to declare emergency in the following 3 conditions. First, war or external aggression or armed rebellion. Second, failure of the constitutional machinery in a state, and third, threat to the financial stability of the country. That's all for today's class. Thank you and have a nice day.